All right, so I have everything marked here, I think. I came up with my own little system here for marking where the seams are, just so I know that's a different mark than the other marks. So I tried to put a mark wherever two panels come together so that I know where they're supposed to come back. Add a couple more here. These guys. Boop. Boop. So all four sides, there's a mark down there, you can't see it. So I got the center panel marked, left out, left in, right out, the top panel there. And then underneath here, that's a triple panel, left, center, right. I marked these bottom pieces, I don't think they matter, they're gonna be the same. But you see I put where the seams are. I didn't do that same system over here, I better do that. So that's where a seam is, like that. So that when I put the new pieces together, I know that's supposed to line up with a seam somewhere. All right, so that's it. So let me get all the hog rings out of this thing and get it apart. I don't know how I'm going to clean that frame. It's too big to put in a Vapo Rust, so I'll have to figure out another way to do that one. All right, there we go. So that's the right half of the panel, plus the top piece there. So here's the little piece that went under the bottom, left, center piece, right in, right out, the middle piece there, piece that goes along the bottom, side piece, and I left that part together because I don't need to take that apart. So, all of these pieces don't have any foam on them, so those are simple. All the other ones have foam on them. I'm going to put a 1/4 inch foam on those anyway, which again is part of the reason why my seats are too small. Our covers are too small, so I'll make all of this stuff a little bigger. Maybe an inch total across each dimension. I think will make my life easier. I'll leave these dimensions as they are here, then I'll just add a 1/2 inch on the outside and the bottom, I think would be the easiest way. Anyway, so that's ready to go. We'll start sewing next time. All right, it's probably hard to see there, but I've got my patterns all marked out on here this is all the stuff of the black vinyl that needs foam on the back. And there's a little panel here, these little pieces that go in that center section that don't have any foam. And then I didn't have enough material out of this batch for these little guys. So I've got to pull a little piece of vinyl to cut these out. This just goes underneath. There's no foam on this. So that's all of those pieces. So this is ready to go. I've got to figure out, I'm trying to conserve vinyl here, so I'm not sure I have everything laid out the best way I should. Like I think that piece there wants 1/4 inch foam, even though this all wants 1/2 inch foam and stuff like that. So I might have to do a little shenanigans there to get all the foam laid out. But most of this panel here is going to get 1/2 inch foam, a little bit of 1/4 inch foam, and then some no foam. So there's that. And then I've got to cut out those pieces out of the red foam still. Red vinyl. And those get the 1/2 inch foam as well. So let me get all that moving along. Okay, so what we did here, these are the patterns that were laid out. We've got it on some 1/2 inch sew foam here. The patterns that came out, these are the two outer edges, and I gave myself 1/2 inch extra. Not sure that's on the right side there. I gotta go double check that, but might be. 1/2 inch extra on the sides, so that remember when I was talking about earlier in the video, I think the seam allowance was too small since I'm using the 1/4 inch foam on the side, so I gave myself an extra 1/2 inch on the bottom and on one side. And then I took the patterns that I had and I measured them to try and figure out sort of what they were supposed to be, because you know they're a little like this, and so I tried to make them sort of square and straight of what I thought the right dimension should be. So you can see I took the ruler out, tried to lay things out the way I thought they should go. This is the panel that goes across the top. So this one I put a 1/4 inch on each side. Is that right? Should it have, no, it should have a 1/2 inch on each side. So open that up a little bit. And then the top is just, this is where it stitches into the top of the thing. So I left that alone. And then this side is just a rough edge anyway because it folds over the back, but I gave myself an extra 1/2 inch there too. So that's all good to go. And just working my way through all these here. All right, pretty much have everything cut out. We have a couple little tiny pieces left to go, but everything with foam is cut out. Got all those little center pieces here, the big back piece, the very center piece, all the middle pieces, side pieces, and the red foam center. So everything's pretty much ready to go to start sewing. I did give myself a 1/2 inch, like I said, on top to bottom extra, and a 1/2 inch on the sides. So on each side in that case. So 1 inch across the sides, 1/2 inch from top to bottom. I think we'll be fine. So we'll give that a try. So next time we'll start sewing up. All right, so to start off, we need to mark our pleats here. I already made this mistake once. I've got to come in 1/2 inch for the seam allowance and then start counting from there, which I forgot to do. So I'm using this purple space pen. This is from Albright Supply. I don't know if that's going to show up on the camera or not. Did I say purple? Silver, which wipes off with glass cleaner. I'm sure it comes off with a lot of other things too, but easy enough to start with that. So got to remember to come in 1/2 inch here, so I'll put a mark at 1/2 inch. And then it's just every 3 inches from there. So 3, 6, 9, 12, 15, 18. Got your schoolhouse rock going in the back of your head there, I hope. 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30, 35, 40. That's not 5 inches, unfortunately, but if it was. All right, so 3, 6, 9, 12, 15, 18. I noticed the one that I just looked at, they actually didn't do a very good job of making that even. So it was like 3, 2 3/4, something else. So it wasn't really very good, but it's all right. I didn't notice, so I'm sure nobody else did either. Okay, so you have a choice when you're doing this, whether you want to try and line it up on the perforations or not. I'm not trying to do that. You could move it one way or another to try and get it right on the perforation. Maybe you should. I don't know. I'm not going to do that. I'm just going to put it wherever the line comes out. Almost missed the line there. I'll double check this when I'm done. Make sure I didn't use one of my old marks somewhere. Do something stupid like that. Okay, those look correct. So let's see. 3, 6, 9, 3. There we go. Okay, do the same thing on the other one. All right, so one of the things I'm trying to think about is if I can find a way to do a back stitch on these things here. Because it's kind of a pain in the rear to tie knots in them. I don't know if I can, but I marked off where the 1/2 inch mark here. So this is a top stitch that goes across here, so I can't come all the way out here and then do a back stitch because you'll be able to see it. But can I do something in that first 1/2 inch there to get it to do something? I don't know. It's a little tricky with this machine because the reverser is right here. Can't see it, it's up on the top. I have to do this manually, so I got to hold the reverser down and then manually move the machine forward and backward, and I'm worried this thing's going to twist around while I do that because I can't hold onto the piece at the same time. But we're going to try. So we're going to sink the needle. So that already went in pretty far. Let's see, so if we can move it forward. That. And then now I have to go backwards. The machine does not like it when I go backwards. I don't know why. I don't know if you could see that, but it created a little knot there. It does something funny whenever I try to go backwards. So it created this horrific mess down here. So I don't know why it does that. But it did ultimately make a knot, I think. Yeah, I don't know. I'm just going to do it the old-fashioned way, like I did it last time. Because it's... I don't know what the machine does when I try to go backwards. I didn't do the right thing there, for sure. So let's just do it normal style. So I'm just going to leave it long on the ends and then I'll just tie it off on a knot because I don't know what's going on there. Okay, let's drop that guy. What's that? This is, there we go. Okay. And off we go. A little wobbly, but I think it'll do the trick. Cut these long pieces off here. Okay, go on to the next one. Sink. Bury needle. Okay. I went a little fast on that last one. I didn't mean to go that fast. Alright, so you see how that works? Let's do them all. Alright, sorry I skipped ahead a second there, but I put basting tape here. This is, what is this, 3/8? I forget. 3/8 basting, or 3/16 basting tape, I think. You can see a little bit of it sticking out at the bottom there. So it's just double-sided tape. I don't put it 1/2 inch in, I put it just kind of along the edge there, because otherwise when you peel this apart you'll be able to see it. Should be good to go here. So we're going to run along the edge here. There's a 1/2 inch marker marked on my plate here, which is what I'm going to sew to. So we're going to go 1/2 inch from this edge here, which is right there. It's hard to see. Right there. Okay. There's my 1/2 inch mark. Okay. Here we can double back. Starting to go all funny on me there. I don't know why. think the piece of foam on the one side wasn't cut very straight, so it looked like it was going off the rails there, but I don't think it actually was. Let's see. A little bit of a pucker right there, but it's down at the bottom, so that's okay. All right. That's how those two pieces are going. So this is the inner piece here, and then the main center piece is right here on this one. The next one, this one with the part like that, will go there, I believe. But we'll go ahead and put the outer one on. It goes on this side, which is, I have these marked. So this is left. This is right. You can't see very well. There's an R right there. And it says right bottom. If you can see that. So this piece is going to go here. So we'll show you the basting tape here. So just make sure I have that right bottom. Yeah. So like I said, this is just double-sided tape. Now, one of the problems I ran into, I was putting all of the marks everywhere about where all these pieces line up together, but I didn't take apart the left side of the seat, so I didn't really have any marks over there. So I was trying to kind of estimate where everything goes. I don't think any of this matters right here. This is all pretty straightforward stuff. You just, they just go the full length of the thing. So that's not a big deal. And then what I'm going to do is take the top piece that goes across the top. I'm going to measure all of these things out relative to that, and then put the marks on there, and then sew everything together that way so that I know it all ends up in the right place. So you just tape this guy on here, like so, and then sew those together. So I guess I could eliminate the puckers a little bit if I pull that apart instead of when I'm sticking it down, if I'm a little more careful about that. I won't worry about it on this one, but I'll try and remember that like on the front seats because it'll matter more there. Okay, so same procedure. Make sure I'm on the 1/2 inch mark. Good. There. Bury the needle. Voila. See how we did. This one felt like it started wandering on me a little bit there, but looks like we did okay. So there we go. So that's 1/2-ish of the back. And then we have the side piece that goes around here, the piece that goes along the bottom here, and then that's it. So do the same thing on the other side. All right, I think next on the agenda I'm going to tackle this centerpiece because I feel like it. It's a really weird little construction here. Gotta remember how all this goes together. You run into things like this from time to time where you have these two pieces and they don't look like they would logically go together, but they do. And when you flip them over, you see they line up properly. So that's one of those. I'm going to go ahead and double check all my marks. I got little marks on all these. I want to make sure they're all correct. Then we'll do the basting tape thing again, get it all locked up, and then stitch it up. Alright, because my edges are not too beautiful there, I'm going to take the old one, line it up on here, and then I'm going to mark where the seam was, so that I know, so I have a line to sew against. Like I said, I didn't cut these out very accurately. So that one goes there, right side here. Same thing. So I don't really know how important this edge is here to get this beautiful, but do our best. Pen doesn't write very well on the bottom of the fabric for some reason. Good enough. Okay. Let's do this. Light here. See very well. We in tight. What I just did. Nothing at all. Right there. Funkiness at the bottom there again. Okay. And the other side. How does that work when you can sew into the middle of an edge like that or not? I'm not sure. I won't try that. I'll just go from here. Sounds like a bad idea. Okay, so that's that piece. Goes along the bottom, like so. So I took this piece I did last time and laid it out against the old top piece to make sure the lines seemed to be in the right place. They were good. So I'm going to stick with the 1/2 inch from the edge on this one, and we should be good. And then I'll take it down again and I'll lay it out and make sure everything's in line as I go across, just to try and make sure that I'm keeping all the pieces in the right place, using that top piece as the template. Alright, try and get this thing lined up as best I can here. Like that. Okay. And then same thing for the 1/2 inch seam allowance here. So just one more piece there. And then now I have to figure out how this bottom piece goes on, or I might wait until I have the second half on. I'm not sure. Let me look at that for a second here. Camera view for you. So this piece goes here. Something to that effect. Got the center marked here. How does it? Huh. So I have a mark here, but that's not in the center. I have a center mark here that is in the center. So I forgot to mark where the correct center is in here, so let me do that. That's where the center allegedly is. There. That should be the center. So that would go right there. And this thing just has to kind of bend to fit here as we go. Not sure what happens at the bottom down there. Is that supposed to wrap around? I got to think about how this goes around the bottom here. I don't remember how all this goes. Let's see. Look at the old pieces, see what's sewn and what isn't. So that piece would have gone there. This piece would have been sewn onto there. Right. Let's flip this over this way. Yeah, so it looks like that's just sewn down to about right there. And nothing right here, oddly enough. Oh, there's another piece that goes there, that's right. Yeah, so, all right. I still think I'm going to, should I wait on that? I don't want to mess this thing up, but I also don't want to do this in the right way either. So let me study the other one a little bit more before I make any decisions. Yeah, so after further study, the side piece of this is sewn on to another side piece here, and then this whole thing is sewn along the bottom of the seat. So we're not going to do that yet. Then we'll have to save that for last because that whole piece goes across the whole bottom. All right, well, this is the biggest stitch yet. So I laid everything out. It seems like it's all in the right place. So I put this seam together right here, and then we have the whole width of the front panel done, except for the sides. That's a big one. Hopefully everything goes smooth. This guy in here. Can't see here. Seems like the foam on the bottom is kind of twisting and moving off the mark, but I'm just letting it run straight, and hopefully that's the right thing. We shall see if we've got a straight line when we're done here. If not, too bad. Let's see, how does it look? It's pretty straight to me. All right. Guess we should probably put the sides on next. Or how does that work? No, I take that back. The sides have to be stitched to the top. Yeah, this is going to be a little tricky because I got to make sure everything lines up again. So I'm going to take a moment, do some measurements, make sure I've got everything lined up. All right, after studying things, I think the next one to go together is actually the top. So that's what I've got lined up here. So I've got it all stuck together. Go ahead and give it a go here. It's a little crooked right here, maybe. Fix that. Alright, so this is a long stitch. A very long stitch. Go. Trim these things back here real quick. Should make it a little easier for the sewing machine to step over those things. All right. Wish me luck. This is a big one. It's a big, heavy piece of vinyl. Keep it straight. Gonna be a challenge. Okay. Grab my threads. Can't reach my pedal here. All right, let's give it a go. Kind of a little worried I was going to run out of bobbin thread there, because I just remember I needed to refill it. But we made it, seemingly. Is it straight? I know you guys can't see very well, but turn the camera a little bit. I think that's a winner. All right, so I think what's next is to do the sides and then last the bottom, but I will study it some more before I attempt the next one. So I will let you know on the next one. All right, we're still trying to puzzle out this bottom piece. It's a bit confusing the way the pieces go together, but I think I'm getting it. So this is that center piece that goes under the, or over the transmission tunnel, and then this piece goes off to the side. Looking at the old seat, it looks like all of this was assembled at once. So basically go up the sides all the way around the whole thing, and then we stitch that whole thing to the big part that we just did. So I'm going to start putting all of this together here, but I gotta figure out where everything goes, try and mock it up and make sure it all fits. Okay, so I think these two pieces go together right here. Not 100% confident, but I have to redo this stuff, it's no big deal. It's just small little things. So let's go ahead and run that on through. So that part goes together like so. And we'll figure out the next piece. Okay, I think I have that all marked correctly. So I ended up taking the left bottom part off of the old seat. So I know a good reference for where that's supposed to go. So go ahead and do this one now. Hopefully everything falls into place when we're done. We can hope. So that completes the bottom. So now, in theory, I'm supposed to do the sides next, so I gotta study that a little bit before I make that step. Okay, I think that's correct. It's gonna be a little fun to sew this area right here, but I think I've got it. I'm going to go ahead and give it a go. See where this takes us. This will be a fun stitch. See down here. All right. engine starts. This thing to turn the corner while I'm sewing here is going to be fun. I might bump the camera here. I apologize in advance. Fun. Never done that kind of stitch before. Let's see how we did. Around there, around the bottom, okay there. This is not perfect here, but you can't really see this seam all that well anyway. That all looks good. That looks good. I'd call that a success. All right, so the only thing we have to do now is sew the sides on. It's done. Yeah, move the camera to the other side. I don't know how good a shot you're going to have from there, but I need the room over here. Try and go around here. We'll see what happens. I didn't tape the whole thing up because it's too hard to do this because it's inside out and not happy. pretty far off course here. The weight of this thing's pulling it out of line. Yeah, I'm going to have to redo that. That's no good. Maybe it will help hold it in place better, but that's no good. Try that again. That was just way off track there. There's probably a better way to do this. I don't know what it is. Everything's coming unstitched here. Dang it. Or unglued, whatever. Unsomethinged. We can at least get it started. Boy, this is ugly. Luckily this is around the back, you can't see it. Because I gotta get this to go around the next corner now. So now I get this to come around here. A little bit at a time, I guess. Inside out, maybe that'll help. Gonna have to go back and re-sew that. That didn't work so well. Doesn't look good. It's not bad down here at the bottom, but it's a little puckered up here at the top. As you can see. Maybe I'll get lucky and get some of it out with some steam. I don't know, probably not. It's not awful. Just that one spot didn't come out good. Alright, so that's about it. One more side and we're done. Alright, I'm going to definitely have to study up on how to do these outside edges before I get to do the front seats. But other than that, it came out pretty nice. I don't have it attached there, it's just sitting on the frame, but it looks like it's going to be fine. The fit seems about right. I'll snug it all up, I think it'll be good. But for my first big seat like that, definitely be easier if you had a bigger flat table. Trying to spin that thing around on that little table is pretty tricky. Yeah. It might even be better just to put it on a big table and just not have it on the stand there. I don't know, we'll see. I don't have to do anything else this big again though, so that's that. All right, so we'll put it on the frame next time and we'll see how it looks. All right, we're down here looking at this again. I'm looking at the fit on this. I made this a little wider, I think, than it was. That edge is pretty nice right there. This fits okay. Both sides have this little boo-boo right here that I'm looking to see if I can fix where the foam poked out there. If you come to the other side, it's okay here. It's a little sloppy, and it's really sloppy right here at the top. So what I think I'm going to do, I'm going to go down each side and pull it in another 1/4 of an inch maybe. We'll see. And see if I can tighten that up. I could just take it off one side, but that would probably look weird. And then see if I can maybe do a better job on these while I'm at it. I don't really have a good answer for that. I'll take a look at it anyway. I could get the seam ripper out and tear these out too to try and get rid of these puckers in the corners. I probably will on this one. You see this thing's... Oh, I thought the foam was sticking out on this side. Oh, I think it's on the bottom. One of the bottoms has that foam sticking out too, but you can't see it because it's on the bottom, I think. Anyway, let me ponder that for a minute. I'm trying to get the bottom part turned with the top part not turned. Is really the challenge. I think I've got it. I think. Oy. I am kind of afraid to see what that looks like. It was even more difficult than the last one. Okay, so this is the bottom here. So we got even more pucker there, but it's at the bottom, so that's no big deal. Edges. Is that the bottom? I think I started on the wrong side. Oh well. Got an even bigger pucker this time than last time. Oh, well. There's only one though instead of two. Maybe that's an improvement. The edge went a little right there. But it's done. Let me put it on the seat and see if it fits any better as it is. I might just stop there. Yeah, I think I'm going to leave that right there. I think that's a decent fit. That corner sucks right there, but limited skills I have. I don't know what this kind of stitch is called. I'm calling it an inside radius. Probably has a better name, but that's a bear. Anybody has any tips on how to sew that, let me know. Maybe someday I'll come back and fix this, but I still have that thing over there. Boo! That's why I wanted to start on this side. I will. Maybe I'll just try and clean up that one spot right there. I don't know what happened to the camera there, but I was showing myself feeding this thing into the machine backwards. I don't know why I keep doing that today. I've never done that before, but today I've done it like 3 times. I'm just going to try and start this thing right on the seam here. And then as I go down, I'm going to go more and more toward the inside to try and cover that edge there. If that makes sense. Got that right on top of the old seam. We'll get started here and try and go real slow. And start moving toward the inside now. Too. This is on the back side, so it's not as important. I'm trying to do the right thing here. Good or bad that looks. Did I do the double back? I forgot to do the double back on this top part here. I'm doing that a lot lately too. So whenever I do that, just tie a square knot or half knot, whatever these things are called. Boy Scout. I was a Boy Scout at one point, but it was a long time ago. So don't get mad at me. So let's see if that shows. So here I started the stitch right there, and then I went to the inside there to cover up that bit. And hopefully I did not destroy it in the process. I can't see the thing sticking through anymore, so let's put that together and see how that looks. All right, I think that's going to be good enough. So I'm going to go ahead and put the hog rings in it and see where we end up. All right, so I've checked both sides here, and the edges seem to be roughly in the same place. I'm going to go ahead and pin down this side over here first. And we'll go from there. Ideally fold this thing over a smidge here. Maybe something like that. It's not going to go anywhere. I'm running out of my good hog rings. Let me try some of the other ones I have here. This kit came with 3 different sizes. These don't have any, don't have a sharp edge on them, which is kind of lame. There's no staple point on there, so those suck. Let's try these. These have a point on them. Nope, those don't either. And we'll see if it works. So I don't run out of my good ones before I order some more. This area here is pretty easy to get to, so I think it's a good candidate for the cheapy rings, if they work. Those are actually better. They're a little smaller. Just gonna put 3 here and then move to the other side. Lock that down. Move on me. And I'll pull the other side tighter when I'm pulling it together here. I think it's in a pretty good spot, but okay. Come over here. So that. Block the view here. This piece here is way longer than it needs to be. I'll trim that back a little bit. Pulled around the corner a little bit. Not as much on this side. Never done anything like this before, so I don't know how the stretching is going to work out and stuff between the 2 sides. 4 sides, I should say. Just kind of trying to keep this line down here straight. I think I'll go to the top, get that locked down. And the bottom is where I'll do all the final yanking, I think. Gonna work. Try that again. Okay, so that side. I'll move over to the top. Maybe I should do the middle and then come down. I don't know. It's kind of weird. It's got this big section in the middle here that doesn't. Where am I? I'm off screen. Get down here. Sorry about that. So it's got this big area here that doesn't have the bracket on it. It's kind of odd. I don't know why that would be. Bigger rings foams for this. It says the 1/2-inch foam, so it'll be a lot more material to get through. Small clip for that. I don't know if you can see what I'm doing here on this one, maybe. Should be good. I'm not going to bring you along for this whole thing here. I'm just going to show you the main areas here. Come back more further along. All right, bring you back after we get a little further. All right, well, there it is. I did part of the top and then I flipped it over and made sure that the top edge was straight, and it wasn't. It was 5.5 inches on one side, 6.5 on the other, so I had to undo these and twist it this way. So pull the top down that way. I'll flip it over here and you can see, but I just wanted to show you what we did with the hog rings all around here. That corner is still kind of bunched up, and hopefully it'll be okay, but I think everything else is fine. The stuff at the bottom doesn't have any foam on it. It's so much easier to work with when it doesn't have foam, but all around the sides here has foam, so it's a lot more difficult. All right, let me flip it over. I think it looks respectable. There's a little bit of wrinkles in here, but I could probably get that out with some steam. And the bottom's a little goofy here. I could tuck this up some more if I need to, but I don't know how visible that's going to be. We'll see. And this side has more of a arch to it than this one does. They're pretty similar though. This came out nice here, that funky little thing. And this is what I was talking about the width at the top here. So these are 5.5 on both sides. It bulges out in the middle, but that's the cushion is like that. So I might be able to finagle that down, but I think it's okay. So let's put it in the car, see what it looks like. All right, there you go. Just kind of jammed that in there, but gives you the idea. I think it looks really good. That corner's a little tucked in, like I said, but the bottom all looks fine. Everything else looks fine. I'd call that a win. All right, so that's a wrap on this. Next time we move on to the front seats, which hopefully are not as complicated as that. Thanks, everybody.